Hello everyone, my name is Dmitry Novikov, and today I am going to talk about the impact of Hollywood films on the United States economy. In my presentation, we will consider what is Hollywood, history of it, how Hollywood film industry impact on the United States economy. Also, I'll show some examples of it. Then I'll talk about demand and supply factors, conclusion, things which I learned, and my references. So, what is Hollywood? It is a neighborhood in Los Angeles that is synonymous with the film industry in the United States. It's also known as Tinseltown. Since the early 19th, when movie-making pioneers discovered in South California an ideal combination of mild climate, plenty of sunshine, varied terrain, and a large labor market, the image of Hollywood as the fabricator of tinseled cinematic dreams has been etched in the minds of people all over the world. History of Hollywood. So, Hollywood begins its history in 1887 by Harry Wilcox, who was a prohibitionist from Kansas. In 1910, because of inadequate water supply, Hollywood residents wanted to consolidate with Los Angeles. Following World War II, film studios began to relocate outside of Hollywood, and the habit of filming on location resulted in the closure of several of the iconic lots and sound stages, which were then sold to television program producers. Hollywood continued to alter as the television business grew, and by the early 1960s, it had become the center of most of American network television entertainment. Impact on the US economy. Hollywood film industry has a huge impact on the United States economy. Motion Pictures Association made a report which proved this fact. Let's look on these huge numbers. First is film and TV industry employment. Hollywood supports 2.5 million jobs in total, in which 892,000 are direct. These direct jobs divided into two spheres. First, engaged in producing, marketing, and manufacturing motion pictures, while second, engaged in distributing motion pictures, television shows, and etc. Next is film and TV industry wages. Hollywood provides $181 billion total wages, in which $77 billion is direct, which earned by workers around the country. In addition, the Hollywood film industry is comprised over 93,000 businesses in total, located in every state in the United States of America. It includes mostly small businesses, in which 87% of employ fewer than 10 people. Hollywood film industry contributes $28 billion in public revenue, which is generated from sales taxes on goods, state income taxes, and federal taxes. Moreover, it contributes $242 billion in sales. If we imagine that the industry is an independent country, its GDP would rank 46th in the world. Also, Hollywood film industry make $16.3 billion in export and $9.4 billion in trade surplus. But more important, that it is a 4% of total US trade surplus in services. Amazing numbers, right? Let's consider examples of how Hollywood production contributes the California's economy. For example, production spending on commercial films is $561,000, while economics output is $1.6 million. Or the production cost of mid-budget featured film is $31,000, while economic output is about $90 million. So, from each film, the US economy contributes with the following: jobs are created, money flows into local businesses, and tax revenues are generated. What about demand factors of Hollywood films? First is the economic status of viewers. It has a major impact on the demand for a product in the filming industry. This factor specifically affects the demand for a cinema hall in a particular society. Second, the social factors affecting the viewers have a significant effect on the market for movies. For instance, the demand of people willing to watch a film in a cinema hall will depend on social variables like people's occupation and their level of education. People with good education and more occupational prestige go to cinemas in larger numbers than the poor and illiterate ones. Thirdly, environmental factors. They also affect the demand and supply of product and services in movie and film industry. Through attributes like the presence of cinema in the neighborhood and the degree of community development, the factors significantly influence the success of the filming industry in a particular area through creating competition and awareness respectively. Also, the cultural factors such as free time and the beliefs of the residents have a high influence on the demand for a particular type of movies. The more free time people have, the more they go to movies, hence increasing the demand. Beside that, the beliefs of the residents can decrease the need for cinemas, especially when they are against going to cinemas. Supply factors of Hollywood films. First is infrastructure development. So, infrastructure development of an area also affects the production of films and movies in a given area. This factor promotes the production of more films by reducing cost of production through facilitating the construction of sound stages, studios, and post-production facilities for mass production of movies. Additionally, the presence of cheap labor promotes the production of more movies and films. The factor has a higher impact on the rate of production than the effect of incentives. This difference in labor costs influence the production companies to prefer making movies outside North America, especially when the saving outweighs the incentives. Furthermore, the presence of skilled crew promotes the production of more movies, despite their expensive nature. Conclusion. To sum up, Hollywood film industry has a huge impact on the United States economy because it provides employment for workers in all country. It boosts GDP. As mentioned from the report, it is 4% of total US trade surplus and services. Moreover, it generated a positive balance of trade in every major market in the world. Also, the industry supports local businesses. And movies produced by Hollywood film industry give people emotions and provide a good mood. So it gives us entertainment. Now I want to talk about things which I learned. I learned Hollywood history and demand and supply factors of Hollywood films. Next, two things I would apply in real life. They are demand and supply factors. So as I'm going to create my own business after getting my university degree, they'll be useful to know how to produce something according to people's needs and wants. And one thing I want to explore more is across domestic products, because macroeconomics is interesting to me and I want to know more about it. So this is my references. I want to mention out one. It is American Motion Pictures Association. because it might a recent happened in 2020 year in which all data with precise numbers and graphs provided. So we can really, because of this, see how Hollywood film industry positively affects the US economy. Thank you for the attention.